Welcome to the NCHA. I'm Steve Schauer, Director of Communications. Tonight I'm joined by Zach Heintz, who has been named the NCHA Men's December Player of the Month. Zach, congratulations and thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Zach, before we start, I want to give the viewers your numbers for the month of December. You had played in 3 games, and amongst all players in the league, you led in goals per game. You had 3 power play goals. You had tied for the lead with 9 points. You tied for the most goals with 5. You had over 1.3 assists per game. You had a hat trick, and you're a +5 on the ice. When you hear some of those numbers, talk about you individually, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, I know success for the team is more important in my opinion, but it wouldn't have came without like my line mates, Brad Summers and Matt Redding. They're awesome players. They've really set me up and made my life easy, especially scoring goals with them. So yeah, I mean, it's always awesome to have that. I mean, that spotlight on you for that weekend, but I think genuinely they deserve all the credit for that.
Talking specifically in the month of December, you individually, December 1st, you had a hat trick and 2 assists in a game against Concordia, Wisconsin. Can you reflect back on that game and maybe what went so well for you?
Yeah, so I think that at the beginning of the year we were slow to start offensively. I think we've always proved ourselves defensively, at least at the beginning of this year. I mean, it's a little bit different coming from an Adrian who was scoring 7 goals a game. But yeah, I think that we finally started clicking and we kind of broke open that weekend. And I mean, individually, I think it was lucky that I had, like I said, Brad Summers and Matt Redding setting me up for every single tapping goal I had. But yeah, no, I think as a team as a whole, we really proved ourselves offensively that weekend as well.
You individually, through the last 3 games of this season so far in December, you scored 5 goals, but through the first 8 games, wasn't the case offensively. What has maybe turned around for you to get things clicking?
Yeah, like I said, I think we all started a little slow. That happens. There's ebbs and flows of the game, and I think that it's just getting through those and sticking to your preparation every weekend. And I think that ultimately that's what helped me. And I think that, like I said, I started to click a little bit during that weekend. So I think that just the preparation and getting through the ebbs and flows of the game really are what is important.
Has it been just a natural progression for the offense to kind of get back to, as you talk, that 7 goals a game that really lighten the lamp up? Or has there been a specific moment where it's like, all right, this is how we do it. We know how to do it. Let's do it this way.
Yeah, I think that we have a young team this year, and I think that's the case for a lot of teams. But I think it's the big thing is we just have trust in our new guys, and I think they have trust in us. And I think that it's really starting to click, especially it was slower at the beginning, but it's good to click, especially in the middle of the year, going into the end of the year. And I think that things are starting to really roll. And I think that it's just the dedication to buying in and really sticking together as a team, which has really helped. So
Can you talk to that? Maybe your leadership or some of the upperclassmen kind of gelling, molding with those younger guys and really getting everybody on the same page as you get to the midpoint and really make a push here for the title?
Yeah. I know a lot of guys, especially I know we have 9 or 8 new guys this year. We just added a new guy as well this past weekend. But I think they've kind of known the Adrian the past 2 years where we've gone to the national championship. We won it 1 year. So they know what the expectations are. And I think that they've really bought into, what it takes to get there. We take it one game at a time and, we're always looking at the standings, but it's not really, we need to do this. It's more of just one game at a time and focusing in the moment. So I think that's the biggest thing for us this year.
You touched on those national championships. You've been a part of those. Is really that winning that title and being there last year really taking the bar from here and risen it that much higher, the expectation, the way you practice, the guys who recruit, just everything as a whole has gotten that much harder and the standard has gotten that much better?
Yeah, I think every year we raise our standard. I think there's always room for improvement on that. And last year we lost in the national championship, so we have a little chip on our shoulder when it comes to that. But like I said, we added a lot of new guys, and they understand how much it means to the older guys. And I think they really care, and they really want to win for themselves. So it's awesome. to see how hard the practices are, how hard they work, how hard our coaches are, which is a good thing because they're pushing us to be our best, and I think they do it out of love and they care. But yeah, I think that just that chip on our shoulder from last year is really driving the guys, the returners, and then the new guys are really picking up everything on the other end. So it's really awesome. So
When I ask you specifically, Zach, in 2020-21, you didn't play that season because of an injury.
mhm.
Did that change your perspective, maybe your training habits or whatnot, to come back and then you win a title the first year you come back, and then obviously last year, 2021, sitting out, how difficult was that?
Yeah, it was a really like it was a low point in my life watching everyone play. It was it was tough um watching people play the sport you love and your brothers going to war every single day. But it opened up a lot of room for improvement and growth in the aspect of like my mental health and physical health as well. I took well, it was during the COVID year. So I actually have like a heart condition. Uh, it's all cleared, all good to play, but that was just kind of like the injury that they sidelined me for during the COVID stuff. But I'm all good now. So I think just going through that and I guess just the mental aspect of it, I've grown a lot in that and matured. So I think it's really big for me to take that year off.
Zach, if you'd be okay, could we kind of venture down that road on mental health and maybe talk? COVID is really difficult on the world as a whole, but being a college athlete, kind of having some of those games taken away and that rug pulled out from under you, what was that feeling like? What's the thought process? Who do you talk to? Kind of maybe for the viewers, reflect back on that. Obviously, it wasn't a great time and for anybody,
Yeah.
but for you, what did you go through?
Yeah, it was really tough. We were going to our quarterfinal game against Hobart. Yeah, I was a freshman, and it was really upsetting. I mean, for me myself, but felt horrible for the older guys, the seniors who really got that ripped away from them. We started really slow that year. We had a kind of a like an up and down year, and then we really kicked it in the gear in the last half, and we were on a run. And I think that we had a really good chance of winning it all, and it got ripped right out of us, ripped right from underneath us. Excuse me. And it's really upsetting knowing that you could have done it all, and it got taken away with you just because of something that you really don't know, like what the whole outcome of it was going to be. And yeah, so I think that as a student athlete, it was tough getting that ripped out from you because you couldn't really play your sport or go to class, see your friends. So we kind of went into that just dark times of being alone. And I think that it really made me grow personally. I know I did a lot of self-reflecting. I actually started reading more, which is one thing that really helped me. Other than that, just kind of being alone was tough. I felt for the seniors really. So
Has that allowed you maybe as an upperclassman now to talk to some of the rookies and the young guys that come in that really you've been through that, it is in the moment, it is now. You have to give everything you have because it literally can be taken away from you tomorrow.
yeah, no, I think that's the big thing is that we really live in the moment and we cherish everything with the guys, whether it's just hanging out or every single game. It's just you never know when it could be your last, and we really emphasize that it's important to live in the moment. So
Zach, I appreciate you sharing that. And getting back to this current season
oh
now,
yeah.
you guys have really picked it up offensively as late the last couple of games. But can you talk about the other side of the ice and the defense and what they've done to keep you in some of the games as you talk? The offense is really trying to find its groove.
Yeah, I think defensively we've grown as a team as a whole. I mean, the pressure of not scoring 7 goals makes it a little bit more important to be good at defense. But our goalie, I mean, all of our goalies are really good, but Dershawn Stewart's really been staying on his head, which really helps the defensive aspect of the game. And just defensively as a whole, I think that we've really structured our game to be more defense first that leads to offense, which I think it's ultimately showing that defense creates offense. So
Can you talk about Stewart specifically and what he's done in goal and meant to this team? I mean, he's having an outstanding year.
yeah. Dersh is awesome. I mean, he really puts in the work, so he deserves everything that he's getting. But yeah, he's awesome. He's really our backbone, and he keeps us at bay when times are tough and the ebbs and flows of the games. But yeah, he's awesome. He really deserves everything that he's winning and all the awards he's getting just because he puts in the work behind the scenes. So
Want to rewind back to the start of the season. You then played number 6 Utica and traveled out there. Tied the first game overtime, and in the second game lost there. What was that first weekend? I mean, that's a series that's really hyped up. Two nationally ranked teams going at it. Did that really set the tone for a couple of things going forward?
yeah, I think that was a really good weekend for growing for our team. I know that we wanted to win both games, but sometimes you have to lose one to learn from it. And I think ultimately, like all Utica's a great team. They're really strong, really fast. So we knew what we were expecting when we went in there. But I think that that really helped us grow. I mean, losing sucks, but you know, if you don't learn from it, then it's going to continue to happen. And I think that playing a nationally ranked team right off the start is the best way to start your season because it just it just shows the younger guys and the returning guys that everyone's getting better and we have to do this to continue to be successful. So
Adrian's won 4 of the last 5. You talked at the beginning of the season, a bit of a struggle, kind of setting the tone, winning as of late. Was there a moment in time in the season or just a natural progression of like, hey, we know what we're doing. It's going to take a little bit of time. Let's get back to our way. Or is there a specific time or a game where it's like, all right, the switch is flipped. Let's go.
I don't think there's necessarily been a certain moment, but I think that we've always believed in it. I don't think there's been 1 second of doubt, whether that's from the coaches or the players, that we aren't going to be successful just because of the work we put in every single week. I think it's been naturally progressive. I mean, I think with new guys, everyone's got to take a second to gel together with playing, with not knowing chemistry and all that. But I think that we're very successful in the aspect that we trust each other. We're going to battle with our brothers every single day, and that we put in the work and we prepare ourselves every single week to be successful for the weekend. So
Zach, can you share as best you can? You guys are ranked nationally very high every single week. You've won and been to a national title game. What's the message in the locker room from Coach Krug and just the coaching staff? You know, what do they say week in and week out to keep you guys so hungry and motivated, knowing that the target is on your back every single game?
yeah, he reminds us that the target's on our back every single game. He's always telling us that, you know, we are nationally ranked every year and, you know, teams are always going to give us their best. And he loves that. And I know that the guys love that too, because it always brings out the best in everyone. So, yeah, I think that being nationally ranked is a good thing, but it also pushes your guys to work way harder to earn their spot every single game. So,
Do you guys look at the NCHA standings at all?
yeah, everyone's looking at them. I think. I mean, even if they don't, they say they don't. But you know, like we said, we focus on every single weekend. But in the long run, you know, that's what you want. But it takes those games to get there. So
When I always ask the players and you know, is it one practice, one game at a time? The answer is always yes, and
yeah,
it's kind of the same. But is there certain games in the rest of the season that are coming up that are circled a little bit more than others, knowing that those might be the games that might clinch first place in the title?
I mean, yeah, every single game in the conference is super important. You know, I mean, everyone's always really close at the end of the year in the conference. So any game is really important because points can swing. And you know, we take every single game seriously when it comes to whoever we're playing. So I think that there's not one game that really stands out, but there's always nationally ranked teams in our conference. So those games usually tend to be, you know, really good games. So
I asked that question because you look at the last 2 weekends of the regular season for you guys at St. Norbert and then a home and home against Trine. And
mhm.
those teams are both up there in the standings with you.
Yeah.
You know, you get to that weekend is the crowd going to be more ramped up? And how do you handle that maybe added extra pressure?
Yeah, I think with the pressure, it's just the preparation during the week. I think that we do a pretty good job of handling that. But yeah, those games are super big. Like I said, the nationally ranked teams in our conference that we're playing, you know, it's always a good game. You know, everyone's getting better every single year, and there's always been those little rivalries between, you know, Adrian, Trine, Adrian, St. Norbert. So yeah, like I said, I think that it's going to be important no matter what. But those games are going to be really hyped up when it comes to the fans and, you know, the guys and just, you know, the pressure of it. It's going to be awesome. So
Well, Zach, again, thanks for joining me and your time to talk about yourself individually, but the team. And again, congratulations on being named the NCHA December Player of the Month.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.